Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Every analyst in the crypto space has been arguing about what is going on with crypto markets, because what's happening now doesn't seem exactly the same as what we've seen historically with these 4-year cycles. Is it the case that market cycles are lengthening? Is it the case that we're actually in a bear market? Well, I want to share with you a new idea from an analyst. I just came across this, and this individual is an on-chain analyst who says that the fact that Bitcoin reached an all-time high of accounts that haven't sold their Bitcoin and haven't moved them, to be clear, haven't moved their Bitcoin for over 1 year is actually a bearish indicator. Now, that seems counterintuitive. People have been reporting this, and in fact, I've been highlighting this as like, this is really interesting because, like I've noted many times, I talked about it just yesterday. Go back to 2018. This is not what you saw. I shared a chart. I'm going to actually show it again in this video. It was from on-chain analyst Will Clemente, and I highlighted that in 2018 with the 4-year cycles, when we hit capitulation, people were selling, and most Bitcoin addresses had not been holding for over a year. In fact, not that many were holding for over a year. Now we just hit an all-time high of holding over a year, which is supposed to indicate that people are highly confident. And there's an analyst that thinks that that's actually not the case. And this is not a fly-by-night analyst. I'll show you who it is when we get to that point in the video. But it's somebody who used to work at a Glassnode. I highlight their work fairly frequently, actually. They do all sorts of on-chain analysis, well-respected within the crypto community. And this individual used to work there until very recently. And he's even been highlighted by my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer. The Blockchain Backer thinks that he does good analysis. So it's interesting because he's citing that this is a bear market. Basically, I'm going to let him speak for himself. But I want to share with you because it's interesting. It's like a new theory on why we're having this variation as far as how the markets behave. It's something that I've not heard from anyone else, and it's not a fly-by-night individual. So I think that's worth highlighting and discussing, and I would love to hear what all of you think in the comment section below once this latest Moon Lambo hot jam has completed. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby, just for fun, damn it. And as I record this, XRP is at 78 cents. Bitcoin's at $40,450, market cap for the asset class 1.9 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 40.14%. Crypto Fear and Greed Index 28 out of 100. Indicating that those poor little lemmings out there, they're still in fear. Womp womp. Look at the headlines, though. This is from the Daily Huddle. Bitcoin whale transactions spike as over $1 billion in Bitcoin leaves crypto exchanges in just 24 hours. And they're not the only ones that were reporting on this. Here's one where they're talking really about Coinbase, but it's not the only exchange in which this was occurring. Here's the headline from the Daily Huddle. $1.2 billion in Bitcoin moved out of Coinbase in massive daily outflow, according to CryptoQuant CEO. Here's who is accumulating Bitcoin. Now, folks, the reason that I'm highlighting this is because Bitcoin leads the market. This is indeed important, and this should indicate that there's a bunch of participants with serious money that have no interest in selling their Bitcoin anytime soon. That's bullish. Historically, that's very bullish. When Bitcoin flows onto exchanges, that's because people are going to sell it. Now that's going to push the price down. We're seeing the opposite here. So it's very interesting. And I said this too yesterday, and I for the first time yesterday, I just made the point. I was like, if this is a bear market, okay, fine, and it's the shallowest bear market we've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying that it is. I don't pretend to know for sure, to be honest with you. But if it is, I will take this. This is nothing compared to what we dealt with in 2018 after the market crashed. But anyway, check this out. The CEO of leading on-chain analytics firm CryptoQuant is revealing a massive outflow of Bitcoin from US-based crypto exchange Coinbase. Ki-Young-ju tells his 289,600 Twitter followers that 30,000 Bitcoin worth over $1.21 billion were transferred from the coffers of Coinbase on Friday, and here's a quote. 30,000 Bitcoin flowed out from Coinbase today, end quote. According to Ki-Young-ju, the Bitcoin stash in question was most likely purchased by institutional investors in over-the-counter deals. And here's another quote. And by the way, before I even read the quote, if this is indeed the case and it's perfectly plausible since it's such a huge amount of money, why are they purchasing? Because look, institutional money, it behaves in what I would classify as a more smart way than the typical retail speculator treats their money, because the typical retail speculator, very emotionally driven. Institutional money, they just know what the retail investors do. The typical retail investors, they're the ones that really drive the volatility in crypto markets. Institutional investors, they're aware of that and they just sit there and don't do anything. Kind of like me, I sit there and I don't do anything. I'm a retail investor, but not your typical one, because I don't respond. I don't buy and sell based on emotion. I just refuse to. I will not do that. That's how you lose money. So I know that. That's what institutions do. So it's just worth pointing out, we're at where we're at, bear market or not, they're buying here. That's something. So here's the quote. Some of the Bitcoin flowed into the existing cold wallets, but it seems to be not that big. This kind of transaction seems to happen only when Coinbase decided to move a significant amount of Bitcoin. It's highly likely towards Coinbase custody wallets for over-the-counter deals from institutions, end quote. And this is important because either way, no matter what happens, I still maintain the people that are going to make the most money from this point moving forward, or at least I'd say there are a lot of moving parts, but let's just say this. If you're going to hold for X number of years, whether it's 3, 4, 5, until the next cycle moves, let's just say that, until the next really serious blow off top, the people that are really going to make money, it's not going to be the people that hold Bitcoin or are buying Bitcoin now. Now, mind you, I hold Bitcoin, but I'm just saying for people buying now, and I'm not telling you to buy or sell, I'm just sharing my opinion, the people that are in altcoins right now, they're the ones that are going to make a killing. Those will be the people that even have a chance at achieving life-changing wealth. But Bitcoin, no. But again, it's still important because Bitcoin leads the market. Inevitably, though, do you think there's never going to be an alt season ever again? And even if your answer is yes, do you not think that I dispute you on that. But do you not think that cryptocurrencies, at some point in a mature market, those cryptocurrencies that solve real problems for real people, do you not think they'll be worth more in the future at some point? Because XRP's really doing stuff. Just saying here. Now take a look at this. This is what I shared yesterday. This is from on-chain analyst Will Clemente. And he shared this with his 614,000 followers on Twitter. Here, I'll make this full screen. An all-time high. 63.7% of Bitcoin supply hasn't moved in at least a year. This is from literally yesterday morning when he tweeted this out. And so the point that he's making, everybody's been making based on this is, wow, people are not concerned about the price action of Bitcoin. They're just kind of chilling. They're not acting like they did 4 years ago. Like, that's a vote of confidence. Well, is it though? Well, let's get into that theory that I was referencing in the outset of the video, and it comes from TXMC. And this is what he wrote on Twitter to his 52,200 followers. And again, he is a former Glassnode employee, and this is the individual where I decided even the blockchain backer likes this guy's work and has highlighted it. So there's all sorts of reputable people vouching, and also he comes from Glassnode, which is nothing but reputable. They're top shelf when it comes to on-chain analytics. So here's this theory, and I haven't seen anybody type quite this. This is the closest I've seen to anybody get in line with the blockchain backers theory in terms of Bitcoin being in a bear market there, which I also found very interesting. So TXMC wrote the following. This is a cyclical bear market. The secular bull will take over eventually. When it does, those who said we're just in a correction will point and go, see? Not recognizing the months of pain their audiences endured, waiting for the reversal instead of being open to reality. Cyclical bear markets begin before lower lows are made on a chart. They're a behavior set, a sentiment profile, a sequence of compounding failures. Bears aren't scary on their own. What's scary is being in a bear and still believing it's not. That's how investors get vaporized. So I'll just pause to note, short-term investors, you can get vaporized that way. That's a fair enough point. Someone like me will not get vaporized, though, because this is the great thing about not being a chart analyst and not giving a damn and as far as learning that stuff, because I don't feel like it's necessary. It's interesting because I like following this stuff, so for those reasons, of course, happy to talk about it. I'm as interested as you, but in terms of how it affects my investing, not a whole lot, because I just don't do anything regardless. By literally holding, even during the scariest of scary parts, and just being willing to hold for years and years and years on end, longer than anybody else, history has shown The people that behave like that are the ones that make the money. So yes, short-term people and the traders, yes, you get vaporized. That's a good word for it. But the people that just hold, even during the bad times, eventually goes back up. Think about the people that sold during the 2008 financial collapse. When the stock market, how much did the stock market go down? I can't remember now. Was it 30%, 40%? It was really, really bad. Well, people were selling at the bottom. Did that actually make sense, though? Because then it went way, way, way up, and people lost a lot of their retirement income, and then it went up, and sorry, too late. You panicked, you used your emotions to make important financial decisions. Well, people do that here, too. Anyway, TXMC continues. A bear is manifested in behaviors. High profit taking as price curls, newer holders spending at cost basis to get their money back, most supply dormant/aging, speculators hedged to defense, rallies failing to gain traction. These signals show a lack of confidence in the future. Interesting, is it not? Because again, he said supply dormant/aging. Interesting. Is that not supposed to be good? Well, anyway, he continues. So while price charts are showing higher lows on high time frames, the people transacting in Bitcoin are exhibiting behaviors that occur in periods of market retraction and low demand. It's okay to admit these things. People hear bear and think falsely, oh my god, 2018. So pause again there. He's saying that these behaviors, some of which are supposed to be good, he's saying it's an indication of a lack of confidence in the market. That's an interesting take. He continues. A bear market doesn't have to take years. There are cyclical markets within secular markets. We are in a cyclical bear within a secular bull. The cyclical bear may end with higher lows, or market structure may break completely. Either way, the secular bull is nearing its end. Many analysts are trapped in thinking that requires past Bitcoin patterns to play out the same way, for extremes to be revisited. Huge parabola, hideous multi-year bear, rinse, repeat. This approach is bound to fall short as both the ledger itself and the asset it represents mature. So I'll pause to note, and I have been saying this, the volatility will decrease over time. I've been saying this for years, and we are seeing that to some degree. It's still wildly volatile, which I like because that means opportunity, not scariness. That means volatility means opportunity. People just look at it wrong and they let their emotions get the best of them. But yes, as the asset class matures, you're going to see the shallower movements, 100%. So I don't expect that we're going to continually see these 4-year cycles. I just can't guess for sure when they're going to completely be broken. But I'll tell you to this point, this is different to some degree. I don't know that market structure is broken. It could be. Some people argue that. It could be that it's just, each cycle is a little bit slower. Some people argue that. I don't know for sure. Nobody does know for sure. And if they do tell you they know for sure, they're overly confident. They should maybe chill out and admit, okay, I could be wrong. Be a little bit more intellectually honest with yourself. Maybe you're right. But you don't know for sure. Nobody does for sure. Anyway, he continues now. TXMC continues. What doesn't change much over time are aggregate human behaviors. The way we react to pain, loss, greed, and everything in between. The narrative plus sentiment of a market can supersede technical gospel. In the end, price action is just the exchange rate of investor emotions. Whew. Truer words have never been spoken, my friends. Then he wraps up by stating, my point is to avoid using a narrow lens to evaluate this market, especially if that lens is only price. If you're waiting to see a dollar value get hit to portend direction, you'll be one of the last ones to know when the wind changes. Okay, so I'll note, that is very true, but I don't have to worry about the wind changing because I'm just gonna hold regardless. And even if some of the cryptos I hold go to zero before I can ever make a profit on them, okay, that's life. But as far as what's useful, I know XRP is. I understand what I am holding with that. And as long as it continues to be useful, I ain't worrying. I frankly am not.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.